Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and thanks for joining us here on Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm getting all pumped up. Do you know why? Not only do I have my mystery guest here with me today, my 400th guest, but we're just having a lot of fun celebrating the fact that the crew and I, we have hit a landmark, a high point in our TV careers here. And I want to especially thank Justin Burt, my main man here, my cameraman, my concierge, his brother Chris, who's my director, Jeff Zook, who's the engineer, and their dad, Randy Burt. What does he do? What title we give him? Gopher. Anything he wants. He's on the other side of the wall. He answers the phones. He gets me all wired up because I got all this technology I got to do. So he's our cameraman, takes a lot of the stills and things like that. So we have a lot of fun. Anyways, 400 shows. I'm trying to figure. 400 shows. That's 400 hours. I don't even know how many days that is. But that'd be like nonstop for, I don't know. Somebody will figure it out for me, like almost a month of TV. Just unbelievably cool. And I want to thank all of you that watched the show from day one. A lot of you have been with me, my underwriters, especially for Fredonia Place. We were talking with Mike Ferguson last week. They were from day one with us. They were with the senior report prior to this show and been strong supporters of me, plus all my underwriters. I mean, just supporting what we do here. And what do we do here? If you're new to the show, we talk about the cool things in Chautauqua County and the area. We try to bring on our guests that have interesting backgrounds, as we will today. Various important things that maybe we don't always want to talk about. We've talked about the fun things. We've talked about dark things, okay? And you know what I'm talking about, dark things, things that we just don't want to necessarily focus on a regular basis, but it's the underbelly of society. We've talked about things here. We've had music, authors, writers. We've done Tai Chi. We've done all kinds of things. And being public access, we've had the opportunity also, as we've said in the past, to work on the COVID situation. We were doing public service announcements, and it's the same crew. We all work together here. And anyways, so thanks for joining me today as we celebrate our 400th show. That's very cool. Some people might say, well, why 400? You're celebrating 400. Well, every 100 we do something a little special. On the 100th show, I had the privilege of interviewing my father. That was really very special, and I know he enjoyed that. He was about 90, I think, at the time. Then 200th show, we had poor State Senator Kathy Young. I said to her, you got to turn your TV down in the background. She goes, TV? I'm in JFK Airport. she couldn't get here in person, so we interviewed her for our 200th show. And she was very kind to send us all state resolutions. We have these very nice proclamations for our 200th show. That just seems like yesterday. 300th show, my father-in-law, Bill Molson. We talked about his life and his background when he served in the Pacific in World War II in his story. So I'm not going to tell you quite yet who our guest is today, but it's somebody very special to me, and I think you're going to enjoy the show. All right. As always, I want to say good morning to all you that are watching. Good morning to you that are streaming live around the world. We just put a pin in Belgium. My cousin Edwin Hamels was watching it last week. So Edwin, if you're watching, thank you. Cor from the Netherlands, thank you. We have people from Turkey, the Philippines, Thailand, all across the United States. People watch us down in Florida. You guys, when you're in Hawaii, they watch this. So if you ever are traveling, you can watch this show wherever we go. So it's way cool what we do. If you have an announcement for your club or organization, as you hear many times we're talking about things here, give us a call, 716-753-5225, free of charge. Randy's on the other side of the wall. There's a phone system, very complicated. He's got to push all these buttons to get your voice in here, and we'll talk to you live, and we're happy to do it. You want to talk about an anniversary, you just want to do a shout out, you have a question for me or my guest, be nice, that's the rule, and we'll have a chat with you. Sometimes Mike from Portland calls, sometimes Linda Spalding calls. We have other people that will call in, so public access, we're live. Don't call us at any other time, like at 2 and 8 when the show is broadcast throughout the week, because we're not here. But anyways, good times. Some other things I want to share with you. 16 and a half days for what? Oh, thank you. Okay, if we were to take every show like a binge watch Chautauqua Sunrise, it would be nonstop 16 and a half days. I couldn't put up with that much of me. And my guest kind of whispered over here is maybe that what 16 was how many days till spring. It's about the same, right? So if you start watching my show nonstop, it'll be spring when you're done. Want to say it all good afternoon to my friends on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people over in Jamestown area. You're listening to me on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Thanks, guys, for having us. Obviously, you think enough of us to have had us on your radio spot for all these years, and we do appreciate it. And we try to find speakers and topics that cover all of Chautauqua County. We're limited by our television range, but through public access to a certain degree. But by getting on the radio, we can also spread the good word, what we're doing over on that side of the county as well. All right, let's see. By way of a little comment here is St. Patrick's Day is coming up here pretty quick. And my good friends over at the Big Inlet, Randy Henderson and those guys, they are celebrating St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. And my favorite band, the Growlers, will be playing that day, so from 5:30 on. So I just do a little selfish self-promotion there. The Growlers at the Big Inlet, March 17th. There'll be bands everywhere that day. They've lifted the face masks rules, and let's still be smart about all this. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. But otherwise, get out there and kick up your heels, and let's celebrate the fact that we're finally getting through some of this horrible situation we've been in. All right, I have some announcements to share, and then we're going to get to our guest who's anxiously waiting. All right, Jeff, here we go. I'm starting on the correct page this week. Last week I started in the middle of the announcements. He was probably following me all over the place. Today is March 5th. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. 14 local attractions will take part this year in Doors Open Jamestown, scheduled from 10 a.m. So as soon as the show's over, you can go till 4 p.m. Today, Saturday, March 5. Doors Open is a free admission day at local museums and attractions. Participating attractions are as follows: Audubon Community Nature Center, the Bustye Grist Mill, Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame with Randy Anderson, Fenton History Center, James Prendergast Public Library, Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Museum, Lucille Wright Air Museum, the Martz Cole Observatory, Marvin Community House, National Comedy Center, Northwest Arena, Reg Lene Center for the Arts, Robert H. Jackson Center, the Roger Tory Peterson Institute. Now, some of these you had to go and pre-register, and it may be too late to do some of these, I don't know, but you can check it out. If you're interested in the Marvin House, give them a call at 488-6206. All right, all the other were the National Comedy Center and the Lucy Desi Museum, you needed to have some pre-registration. So I don't know if those are still available to you or not. But what a nice way to open up a lot of these venues to the public free of charge. So get out there. The weather's supposed to be pretty nice today. I guess it's supposed to be up in the 40s. And I've been to some of these, and they're great. I still got to get to a couple more that I want to get to. So anyways, that's coming up today. All right. Jamestown Community Chamber of Commerce is proud to announce its list of award recipients for its Salute to the Finest 2022. All right. So here we go. New Business of the Year, Art Cloth and Craft. Young Business Leader of the Year, Lenny Carlson. Manufacturer of the Year, Support Enterprises. Restaurant of the Year, my good friend Hector Alvario, the Hotspot Cafe. I got to get down to you, Hector. I promise you, I'll be there. Retailer of the Year, Dot's Gift Boutique. Service to Humanity Award, UPMC Chautauqua. Pride of Jamestown Award, the Roger Tory Peterson Institute. Legacy Award, the Lynn Funeral Home. And Business of the Year, Schultz Auto Group. They're going to have a big evening of events coming up on March 14th at the Lakewood Run Gun Club. The cost is $25 per person. So check out the Chamber of Commerce website called chautauquachamber.org if you're interested. Moving along. Things to do this weekend also. Let's see. Started yesterday all the way through next week. Almost Maine, like the state of Maine, performed on Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays 2 p.m. at the Lucille Ball Little Theater over in Jamestown. Almost Maine, a place that's so far north it's almost not in the United States. One cold, clear night, as the northern lights hover in the star-filled sky above, the residents of Almost Maine find themselves falling in and out of love in unexpected and hilarious ways. I sound like I'm on the radio. I am on the radio. General admission is $22. Give them a call at 483-1095, and that's at the Lucille Ball Little Theater. Do you see what's going on here, folks? Things are opening up. There's places to go. Very cool. Okay, let's go to slide 15, Jeff, to our friends at Infinity Visual and Performing Arts. They're welcoming 2 new instructors. The first one, Caitlin Ross, has recently relocated to the area from Seattle. That's quite a move. She has an extensive history in both visual art and dance, having studied both at the university level before eventually graduating with her bachelor's in dance from the University of Washington. During her time at UW, her studies included ballet and contemporary techniques, choreography, composition, improvisation, cross-cultural styles, body mechanics, and somatic movement techniques. She also participated in several dance intensives and technique classes at Velocity Dance Center, including Strictly Seattle and the Seattle Festival of Dance Improvisation. Now, I can't even begin to tell you what that all means. Maybe if we ever have on the show, we'll ask her. She has performed in works choreographed by artists such as Rachel Lincoln, Bruce McCormick, Shannon Stewart, and Molly Scott. Her teaching experience includes contemporary technique, ballet technique, creative movement, and improvisation. In the visual arts, Caitlin has experience in many mediums, including drawing, painting, and design. What else can this person do? Her primary focus is ceramics. She spent 8 years as a studio apprentice for Paula West on San Juan Island, Washington. She produces her own line of porcelain tableware under the name Caitlin Ross Ceramics. How cool. All right, and then Karen Suber, exploration instructor. A lifelong musician, Karen loves the exploratory possibilities in sound and the power of music for expression and connection. Trained first as a pianist, her experiences have branched out to include guitar, ukulele, as they say in Hawaii, percussion and vocal training. You didn't know that, did you, Justin? Ukulele. We all say ukulele. Vocal training, as well as certifications as a licensed music together teacher, a member of the improvisation group Music for People, and her board certification in music therapy. Her special focus is music improv and many other variety of instruments and voice, which helps build, confident social musicians and fosters learning music fundamentals. Throw a kazoo and some crazy percussion in there for fun, it says. Okay, so if you're interested in any of the lessons these people or all the other good things they do, give me a call at 664-0991. 664-0991. And as I always say, Infinity is just so awesome. A young person or even yourself, check it out. They do have lessons for adults. Okay, this came in from our friends from Prevention Works. I'm just going to read a part of it because it's pretty long, but with the sports seasons that are constantly coming and going, you watch the ads on TV. I don't know about you, but there's more and more ads for gambling. March is called Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Gambling addiction or problem gambling is known as the hidden addiction because there are no visible signs. Unlike substance use disorders, you can't visibly see the effects of someone's gambling. For example, if someone has been drinking, you may smell alcohol, or they may be slurring their speech. Because of the lack of visibility, often those suffering from a gambling addiction can hide it longer than someone with an alcohol or substance use disorder. Usually gambling addiction is discovered when there is a loss of accessibility to money or negative actions occur. Okay, I'll just give you the warning signs and we'll stop at that. Most adults who gamble do it as recreational, fun activity without any negative consequences. For some, it can become a problem just like alcohol or drugs. Warning signs: thinking about gambling, covering up, lying about gambling behaviors, missing time with friends and loved ones to gamble, gambling to escape problems or negative feelings, gambling more money than planned or can afford, trying unsuccessfully to cut back or stop gambling. If you are interested or have know somebody that needs help, you can call the hotline called, that goes like this. It's the New York State Hope line, Hope, H-O-P-E, Hope line, 1-877-8, and then spell out the word Hope line, or text Hope New York 467369. All right? It's out there. Be careful. All right. And then we have a slide real quick. Triple P Events, positive parenting program for ages 0 through 8. It's hassle-free shopping with children. That's what they're going to be talking about on March 11th. Then on March 25, managing fighting and aggression. Okay. Then the following week is a support group with children with special needs. Now, these are different times. The first one is 10 to 12, the second one's 10 to 12, and third one is from 6:30 to 7:30. So if you're interested to check these out, give them a call at, I will find it here, just hold on one second. I have the number, 203-1609. Okay? As we always say, there's no book that tells you how to handle some of these situations, and I know in some cases it's good to have someone to talk to if you are having trouble with your kiddos. Okay, it's 203-1609. Okay, got a couple other things, and we're going to get to my mystery guest. All right, let's go to 17, Jeff. This is the final push for the Gold Rush for the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club. All right, it's going to be next weekend, next Saturday. They have a whole slew of gift certificates you can win and various prizes donated. Okay, I can't even go through the whole list because it's just so encompassing. But we have a grand prize that was donated by the South Ripley Solar Project of $1,000. Trust me, I have been emceeing this for I don't know how many years, and every year I get to announce a winner that takes home $1,000. Okay? No strings attached.
Hopefully it'll be me.
It could be you, Justin, yes. Second prize, a Yeti Tundra wheel cooler. I'm told that's like a $400 setup there. They're expensive. Third prize is a Shelter Logic 10 by 20 canopy. Fourth prize is a night at the Goldbrook Farm B&B right in Westfield. Beautiful, beautiful place. And Barbara Fay and her husband, they have done an outstanding job of renovating that place. Plus, there's, I don't want to do the whole list because I don't want to leave anybody out because it's quite extensive. But all kinds of different companies have come forward and donated gift certificates, and you can win one of those as well. How it runs, you buy a ticket. If you buy one, it's $25. If you buy a bunch of them, like 5, it's $20 a piece, or 5 for $100. We're going to be drawing it live on Facebook, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Facebook page. I'll be emceeing that. Also, Dan Smith, our club president, will be on Zoom, and you can check out that information as well if you buy a ticket. And some of the tickets will be drawn ahead of time, but the big prizes will be drawn live that night when we'll be at the Westfield YWCA, and that'll be a lot of fun. We want to thank all of the donors for that, and good things will be happening because all that money goes right back to the community, supporting a lot of the scholarships and projects that we do. I'm a proud Rotarian. All right, and finally, Spring Fling is coming up March 18th and 19th and 20th. This is a kind of variety show put together by my friend Libby Cardi-Sharino. I'm in the cast, I'm the MC, and I do some other things I won't tell you all about. But it's going to be a fun evening of music and readings and a little bit of comedy and just all sorts of things. It's going to be held at 7 o'clock at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts, right there up in the Presbyterian Church. The backside of it, they have a special entryway, and upstairs, as you know, we've had our guests here talking about in the past. It's a beautiful theater. Tickets are only $15 at the door, and again, it's time to get out there and get back to what we do. Finally, on a very somber note, Ukraine is getting bombed. We know that. The cautionary note I want to say to everybody right now, there will be scams out there looking for money for support. Please be very careful on who you support and make sure that it's a bona fide organization as we try to support these folks with whatever resources we can, and our prayers and thoughts go out to all of them. All right, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back with number 400 guest.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Okay, we're back, and now for my 400th guest, I want to bring on for the very first time on my show, my brother Bob Hamels. Surprise, everybody!
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for making the trek from wherever you live. Where do you live?
That way.
That way. I never know. Is it Eden or North Collins? Which is it?
North Collins.
North Collins. Okay. So you heard me introduce the show, and Dad been on the show way back, like 300 shows ago. You were in the audience that day, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. We have the big, people don't know this, we have a big auditorium here, and we just filled the place up with.
Huge.
Yeah, like 2 people.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for having me today and your your team. And I'd like to congratulate all you guys for your 400th show.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Because I do watch it.
Yes, you do, and comment from time to time.
Yeah.
And as Justin and I always say, we never know when my brother's, oh, somebody texted me. Who is that? Anyways, you used to text me in the early days of the show, and I said, I'm in the middle of the show, I can't talk right now. So anyways, so Bob, the reason why I picked you for my 400th guest, and I know I kind of surprised you when I called you months ago, you have lived a very, very different life than I have, even though we grew up with the same parents and same household. But our directions went in very different ways, didn't they?
Sure did, yeah.
But first of all, why don't you tell everybody, a little bit about yourself, where you were born and what school and all that jazz, whatever you want to share.
What do I want to share? Let's see. We both grew up in Buffalo. North Buffalo, and
Before that was somewhere else.
oh, we were on the west side of Buffalo. Yeah. So we grew up there, and then it was North Buffalo, and then went to high school. I went to Bishop Turner for industrial arts, and you went to Canisius for I don't know why.
College prep.
Oh, college prep. Yeah. That's
Now
right.
wait a minute. You got to do a shout out to your elementary friends because I know you're on Facebook with a lot of them.
Oh yes. Yeah, we went to St. Mark's Grammar School in Buffalo.
Right.
So yeah, we have a good group there. I still.
You have like an online group, right?
We
St.
have a
Mark's?
Facebook page.
Yeah, for your graduating class from 8th grade, right?
Yeah,
My class didn't do that. Our class didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So
anyway, so we did that, and then from there I went to ECC for a semester.
right.
Yeah.
We laugh, right? It's fun. It's funny to laugh about it.
It is really funny because as time went on, I ended up going into Buff State and getting my graduate degree, and ended up teaching there.
But the key was, and I tell this to a lot of parents, if your kid's not ready for college, don't go.
That's right. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. Everybody says, and I used to call it the white collar lie. Everybody thinks you got to go to college right out of high school because, well, that's what you got to do, and it's not true because you're a living example of it.
Absolutely.
So let's roll the tape back a little bit. What you just said, you started ECC for a semester. Wasn't for you at the time, right?
No, I didn't want to go. I wanted to go. I actually had gotten hired by General Motors in Buffalo to work in their production area on second shift when I was in my senior year of high school. And my mother says, no, you can't take that job. You need to go to college. So I said, well, I'll show you. So I went one semester, and I had a .04 average.
I remember you telling me about that, and I said, what? How could you have a .04 cum? I mean, most of us were like tree point something.
Yeah,
but that was you. That's where you were at that point in time. But then years later, right?
Oh yeah. And
Then what'd you do?
Well, then,
I mean, college-wise.
for college?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I went to Buff State, and actually I did a semester at Medaille just to get my feet back into it.
I remember that you were excited. I'm going back to college. I remember that.
Yeah, no one knew. I didn't tell anybody.
You were kind of like up there in years too, right? I mean, you weren't like.
I was probably 40 at the time.
Yeah, you were.
Something like that. So anyway, I ended up going into Buff State.
Jeff just told me he was 45 when he went back to college. So keep going.
You're never too late to go to school. But the reason I went was because of you.
Don't make me cry.
Now I'll tell you why. Because the reason was I can remember the day I talked to you on the phone. I was a superintendent of maintenance at a company in Buffalo, and I was having trouble finding a lot of skilled trades. Employees.
Yeah.
And I said, you and I were talking. You were a superintendent at one of the, I think at Bosse's at the time, and I says, I can't find any good tradespeople at the time. And he says, well, do something about it. I go, what do you want me to do? He goes, go learn something and teach them. So I did. So anyway, I ended up going to Buff State, and I was in the career and technical education program. I got my bachelor's in that in science, and then I went on to my graduate and worked into the career and tech ed. Graduated from there, and instantly was an adjunct professor there for 6 years, I think. And I had the undergraduate and graduate. And a lot of the folks we had were from, they wanted to teach at Bosse's.
Right, they had to get certified and things like that.
all the community colleges. We had anyone from cosmetologists to engineers,
Welders, yeah.
everything. So we had a lot of tradespeople. So that was great. But I always told everybody, and I didn't care. I told people, don't go to college unless you're ready to go. And if you are, then go.
And have a plan. What are you going to do with it?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm going to college because I'm going to get a job. Well, what does that mean?
I mean, I just read an article yesterday. In the next 10 years, the United States is going to need 180,000 new teachers.
Oh gosh, yes.
So it's a cycle. So
Yeah, and some years they need nurses, or they need, or whatever the profession is, right?
Right.
I said nurses because that just came to the top of my head. Besides, Peg's a nurse; she's sitting over there. But I mean, they're always looking for nurses and teachers
Right,
and things
yeah.
like that. All right, so you were at ECC. That didn't work out. So what did you do then?
I actually got into a training program for a company called Niagara Machine and Tool in Buffalo, and I ended up was in a machinist type program, apprentice program. Unfortunately, it was back in when the recession of the 70s hit, and I got laid off from there. So I kind of bounced around through a bunch of small companies, worked my way up into management, other companies.
But you're a millwright, right?
Eventually, I was at Bethlehem Steel.
So what is a millwright?
I was doing a lot of welding, setting machinery, installing machinery, transporting it.
Do you realize I've never welded a thing in my life?
I wouldn't want to see you do that.
But and all kidding aside, I remember one day you and I were talking, and we came from, at least from the vocational, educational, technical side of life. We kind of came from very different directions, didn't we? Right. I was a special education teacher. You were kind of like finding your way through college, and we met in the middle. I was administrating over technical programs, and you were teaching those that came to those programs. So it was sort of an interesting thing. Probably made mom and dad kind of crazy watching all this.
For sure.
But you were always the kid, I remember, tearing things apart and putting things back together and made it work. I was the kid that always tore things apart and had parts left over. Yeah. Pretty much.
That's where I get all my spare parts from.
So, but during your high school years and that, there was other things that were going on in your life.
Oh, I was playing rock music.
Rock music?
Yeah.
Jeff, do we have a picture of that?
Oh, here we go. This ought to be good.
And we played in a band together for years, right?
Oh, a couple times.
Yeah. And back there it was called The Frozen Sun.
Right.
And it was one of those bands that you, me, and our cousin Bruce started,
Right.
like in 66, 67 or something like that. So when Jeff finds that picture, he'll pop it up. But anyways, go ahead, talk about music for a while if you want.
Well, I always tell everybody I taught you how to play guitar.
No, you tell everybody you taught me everything that I know, and I tell people you taught me everything you knew.
Anyway, so we did the rock scene for a long time, and then I got out of it for quite a bit of time, and I think it was back in '85.
Yeah.
You talked me into getting back into music again with you, and we started doing some country music together, and then
You played in Vegas.
we were extremely successful with Vegas.
We dragged your poor wife into it.
And you dragged your
my
poor
poor
wife
wife into
in,
it.
and a few other folks. But we were really successful with Vegas. I mean, we were. I mean, agreed. We were to the point either go to Nashville or stay here.
Good thing we stayed put.
Yeah, we recorded a couple times.
We played on the children's telethon on TV that one year. And
we did all kinds of things.
that was good stuff. So I'm gonna let Jeff pop up pictures, and if you see him pop up, we'll just speak to him.
Yeah,
But we have some early.
There it is. Me and Paul.
Paul McCartney.
He's coming. He's on tour again.
There should be one with a band, Jeff. It says Frozen Sun, perhaps. It's like a kind of a black and white. But Paul McCartney. So what's the deal with Paul and you? You got a bromance with him or what?
No, but him and I have the exact same guitar. I have an original.
So why is Paul at your house?
Because you sent that to me.
So the fun story about this, folks, is that my brother and I, and all of us, we always try to find unusual gifts for each other. And so my brother really liked Paul McCartney, so there we go. Okay, so that's not Paul McCartney, that's us.
It's us, yeah.
So you are way over. Let's see,
To the right.
to the.
I'm on the right-hand side.
Well, actually, that was at the college. That was at ECC, wasn't it?
That was at Duville College.
That was Duville.
It was a Thursday night, and it was a beer blast or
Oh,
beer mixer
all
or
right.
something like that. I remember it.
I wasn't, obviously. I don't. Oh dear. So there's me. Oh, look at the mutton chops on me. Woo wee. I'm on the left side. There's Jim. Bruce is hidden in the back. There's Frank, and then there's you on bass.
Yeah.
All right. And there's the speakers, and so that was probably in 71, 72. So you were busy in the music scene like a lot of us were.
Oh, yeah.
And so, what did that do for you, music?
Well, you know, it's interesting because when you're fronting a band or you're up singing or whatever, you're talking to the crowd, you never wanted dead air. You always had to have good talking.
Keep it going. Yeah.
So what happens when you're in the classroom? Same thing.
Yeah.
Or you're doing a class on a webinar or anything like that, you're talking, and especially a webinar, you don't see anybody. You're talking
You're
for
just talking
an
to
hour
the,
and
talking to the head.
talking and hoping people are listening and getting something from what you're teaching. So again, that gives you that teacher's voice. It gets you, no stage fright, and those kinds of things.
We were talking about Infinity a bit ago.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
And they're training kids to be musicians, dancers, whatever. And these are lifelong skills, right? I mean, and so I remember we watched the Beatles for the first time on that little TV. You and I were like glued to. I mean, I think our noses were on the screen. I mean, we just couldn't get close enough to it. And from that day forward, we all got guitars and things like that. But you didn't start on bass guitar, right?
No.
You started on 6-string.
Yeah.
Somehow I ended up on 6-string because I didn't want to play keyboard or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But then
Then Peggy ended up on that, yeah.
Yeah, we needed someone to play bass, and he says, "Why don't you play bass?" I said, "Okay."
Yeah, bass players are hard to come by. All right, so, and then, so we played in a couple different bands over the years. That was really a lot of fun. Then, let's see, tell me about your family. Tell me how you met Peg and kids.
I think we came home from the hospital together. No, Peg and I have known each other, my wife. We've been married 47 years. And
Yeah, but when did you start going out? This is the funny thing to me. I think it's funny. I mean, you've been together a long time, more than 47 years of marriage.
yeah.
There you are.
Oh, yeah, there we are. We were 16, 15, 16, something like
I think you were a sophomore in high school. I think you were a
Yeah.
junior. Let's talk about this picture. Let's hold that picture, Jeff, for a little bit. This is a picture I took of you two. What? Go ahead and jump on it right now.
All right, it's at the Hofbrauer House in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
Peg and-
Osborne and Ash play there. That's been my guest here, right?
I got him in there
Good.
because you told me to.
I hire these people.
Yeah. So anyway, another career move that we made. Peg and I are both part of the ownership team that owns the Hofbrauer in Buffalo. So we're
That's a big place.
we can hold, when the beer garden outside is open, the main hall, we can hold 1,800 people at one time in there.
1,800 people.
1,800 people.
Wow.
So it's a great venue. It used to be a dairy, a chip dip plant.
So you're holding very large steins. I mean,
Yes,
wow, that's a lot of.
it's a
Beer.
little over a liter of beer there. Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is sort of like a large group of owners. I mean, you're not
there's
the
about-
owner, right?
No. We're a group. There's about 30 of us.
Okay, very good.
So, so we've been open. Our grand opening was last September. The full opening, because we had to build kitchens and all that, the equipment and everything. But we're full bore, and we do weddings and parties, and we have any kind of venue. We have a lot of things coming up for this year. We just had a board meeting the other night, and we've got St. Patrick's Day there too. We've got.
I'm sorry, we're already booked.
Yeah, I know. We have Dingus Day party coming up right the day after.
I don't do Dingus Day.
Okay, so we're bringing that in, and then we have music 7 nights a week.
Really?
Yeah, and on the weekends.
Good on you guys.
Once our beer garden opens up again in the end of April, we'll have music on the weekends, twice a day, outside, inside.
I could do that.
Yeah, we could. We'll talk.
We'll talk.
So anyway, so we're we got full bore. We got all kinds. We're gonna have a summer festival. We've got festivals. We got parties.
All right. Now, this year, I remember promoting the Christmas market.
Yes.
You were in charge of that, right? You were numero uno. I mean, the man. No, you were.
Okay, so we have the Chris Kendall Market, what we call it. It's based on a Bavarian German Christmas festival like they have in Germany, across Germany. They're the Advent season. Again, we're going to be doing that this year, the first 3 weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm only part of that group.
All right.
Okay, but we it is basically the same. We have outside vendors. Everything's outside. We have like Bavarian chalets. We've got all kinds of functions for the kids on the weekends.
Good.
Or on the Saturdays. We're horse and carriage rides. There's a couple other festivals in the area, so we're going to have those the horse going back and forth between those various groups. So again, but the good part of that is, it's the Hofbräu that's running it, but all the proceeds from that event are going to feed more of Western New York. So last year, between them and then AAA was a big help with us too. We represented Feedmore with probably around $20,000 last year. So that's a lot of meals we put in
really
people,
good.
especially at Christmas time.
Okay.
When folks were hurting a little.
All right, let's jump around a little bit more here.
All right.
Jeff, you got some pictures of my brother when he was younger. You want to pop those up? Because there we are. Now, which one's which is the question. Look at our hair, like boing. There's proof that bear was mine, not yours.
Well, you can always tell because I'm always the leader. I'm on top, so I was inside.
You can always tell that I was the foundation of the two of us and held you up. Okay, folks, that's a little picture. My mom dressed us the same. Everybody thought we were twins, literally. They thought we were the same. My brother was born as big as I was at the time. Okay, got anything else? Got one more, I think. There we are again. Dressed like twins. Everybody thought we were it. And for orientation purposes, the guy in the middle is not me.
Or me.
I'm on the left and Bob's on the right. But again, dressed the same.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Sure.
Oh, there we are. Remember those days? We played football together.
Yes.
7th and 8th grade at St. Mark's. We never won a single game. You and I had to be, we were what, tackles? Guards?
Yeah.
And we got squished all the time. They were these great big guys, and we just got pushed around. I was just a skinny rail. You were a skinny rail. We just got bopped around. Okay, thanks for that, Jeff. Okay, so let's talk about your family. You met Peg in high school. Then what happened? You got married. Yeah?
Yeah.
You said 47 years ago.
Yeah, so we have 2 children. We have Jennifer, who's been on this show.
Yes, she is, Jennifer Sullivan.
Yeah, a couple times, one time.
Yeah, for American Lung Association. Yep.
Yeah, so Jen's been on the show, and then my son Bob.
Has not been on the show. Bob, if you're out there, you can be on the show. I don't know what we'll talk about, but come in here and talk about your parents or whatever. Okay, yeah.
And so anyway.
Now, what's he do?
He works in New York State Department of Transportation.
Okay.
DOT.
So you got 2 kids. Shh.
Yeah, we got each.
Who's your favorite uncle? Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Both kids have 2 children.
Well, go ahead and do a shout out to them.
Okay, Jen and Tom, my son-in-law, have Emily and Joshua.
Okay, and Josh is in his teens, and Em just turned
10. They're 10
Yeah,
and 14.
All right.
Soon to be 15.
And Bobby, your son?
Then we have his wife, Kelly, and who's a nurse also. And
Lila?
we have Lila and Trent. So they're 4, and Trent will be 1 next week.
Yeah, coming up. All right.
So they're
So,
out.
so you're a grandpa too, right?
Yeah.
Good job, huh?
Oh, it's wonderful, John.
Okay, so you worked for a couple different places, but you landed finally, I think, where you really belonged, right? In General Motors.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how long were you there?
Well, it was a twofold thing. I was at American Axle in Buffalo for 14 years.
American who?
American Axle.
What do they do?
It was a spin-off of General Motors.
They closed down, right?
They're no longer in Western New York now.
Same thing.
They're still in. I think there's one. They're still in Detroit. So they still have a presence in the United States.
Okay, I'll just buy you in.
And anyway,
What'd you do there?
I was a millwright welder there. And I also did some special projects I worked on.
So they made the axles for vehicles.
Yeah, we made
I mean,
the
that's what
axles
that
for, like,
basically, pretty much primary. That's all they did.
well, like the Silverado, the Trailblazer,
Okay.
things like that, Camaro.
All right. Okay, hold your breath for a second. Folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and my 400th very special guest is my brother, Bob Hamels. And if you have a question or a comment, you just want to join in the conversation, give us a call. 753-5225. All right. You were at General Motors now in our story. So, what did you do there, and how did that all work out?
I ended up, in between there, I did own my own corporation. For about 3 years, I put together with a couple other folks, and then I sold that off. That was part of my game plan. And then I thought I was going to just hang around and play golf for the rest of my life, but then, you know me, I never...
You play golf?
Yeah.
Jeff, we have a picture of that, don't we? We'll see if it pops up.
Well, we'll see.
Are you any good at golf?
No, not really.
I understand your brother's better than you.
Oh, that was that's all right. I forgot about
I'm
that.
glad you mentioned golf. See, Beck, I was ready for him today. All right, that was a little competition that was for the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club over in Westfield, and I won.
You did?
I can putt, but I can't drive. Bob's really much better than I am.
Anyway, I thought I was going to golf. I just gotten to play golf and
Yeah.
be retired, but that didn't happen because
No.
you know me, I can't sit
No,
down.
okay. So
Anyway, I ended up getting a job at General Motors, the Tonawanda engine plant. Worked there for about 10 years, worked my way through maintenance and engineering, manufacturing engineering.
Wait, maintenance. That sounds like a janitor. Explain that. It's a
no.
whole lot. Well, I mean, when you think of maintenance, I mean, and I'm not disparaging janitors, but I mean, when I hear maintenance, they put the light bulbs in, that's not what you mean here, right?
No, I was in charge of skilled trades.
What's that? Skilled who? What is that? Skilled jobs, trades.
Electricians, millwrights,
Oh, big
tool
time.
makers.
The guys that keep the whole place going. Then.
Right, they do the repair and setup. Of
So
the
how'd you learn
machines.
all this stuff?
School.
I don't know this stuff.
I went to a lot of different schools when I was going along.
Oh, so they sent
Trade.
you, they trained
Oh,
you.
yeah, so-
Okay, on the job training, stuff like that.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up running. I had my own plant for a while there.
You had your own plant?
No, for maintenance.
Oh,
of
you
it,
just were
so-
part of the team, all right.
Yeah, so I had that, and then I ended up eventually getting into manufacturing engineering, and then I worked on some launches when you build a new product and you put it together, get it developed, and
Let's go back a step. Manufacturing engineering.
right.
What did you do there? I mean, what does that mean?
I was working on 2 different projects.
So what was your role? I guess what I'm saying is, I mean, I understand, with the maintenance, you tell these guys that machine's down, it's got to be fixed, or this has got to be moved, and blah, blah, blah. So what, but that's
Right.
maintenance. So with
Well,
engineering, manufacturing, what did you do?
Well, I was the maintenance end of 2 major projects. So basically what I had to do is I had to go and, first of all, review all the equipment that we were bringing in into the United States. So, and sadly, there's not a lot of machine builders in the United States. So I spent a lot of time in Germany and in Spain working with the machine builders.
You got to go to Europe?
Yeah.
Did Peg go with you?
No.
Peg, yeah. So just for a point of information, when you say these machines, I mean, is it bigger than this table?
This bigger than this room.
What? You had to be in charge of looking over an entire machine that's as big as this room?
Yeah, well, we had a regular procedure and checklist. We go through all the machines. We had to make sure everything was safe.
So did you have to run the machines while you were in Germany?
No, we had a couple people that we brought with us, some operators that were extremely skilled, and they would work with
they knew what to do.
the machine builders, and we'd do prototypes, start building them and break the machines to see.
So how often did you go to Germany?
Oh, I would fly home on a Friday and be going right back out on a Monday.
That's quite a responsibility. So what vehicles were these machines used to make?
Those machines right now are building the newest Silverado heavy-duty engine, GMC engine, the cast block, rather than aluminum block. And then I also worked on the assembly line install for the new C8 Corvette engine.
Corvette.
Yeah.
Jeff, let's bring that picture up.
Oh, here we go.
You like Corvettes?
I do.
Oh, Peg, look at that. What is this I'm looking at?
That's yes, I do like Corvettes. That is our Corvette that was on display at the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. That's a 2017 Grand Sport.
Your name's on that paper.
Yes, we own it.
You went there and got your own car?
We had it built and then delivered there.
Very nice.
So
What size engine's in that thing?
it's a LT1.
Okay, that means nothing to me. That's big or little or what? I don't know.
It's 486 horse,
Ooh. All right.
and the engine was built in Tonawanda.
Tonawanda. All
So
right. Does it go fast?
the legal speed limit is 55 miles an hour, or 65. depending on
Okay,
where
we
you're
have a phone call. Hold on. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Doc, and good morning, Brother Bob. This
Hello.
is Linda Spalding.
Hey.
Well, how great it is to see your brother on the show.
We kind of look alike, don't we?
Yeah, that's just great. And you mentioned the Opera House. I think I've been there. Where is it?
It's
in
at-
Buffalo.
It's on 190 Scott Street. It's right near the arena.
Oh, No, I don't think I've been there. But I know I've heard of it.
Well,
I know there used to be a lot of German restaurants and places to go years ago. Is it open to the public for German cuisine?
Oh, absolutely. That's all we serve there.
Oh, great.
No, it's only been open like a year now, right?
Yeah. It's been open about a little over a year.
This place is huge, Linda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so anything, we have specials every night right now for the month of March, $14.95. Good deals.
Oh, yeah, it is a good deal. It
Yeah.
is a good deal.
Yeah, so, check it out.
Well, then this is a new place. Well, what was it years ago?
It was the Bison Chip Dip production plant. They actually
I
made
think
chip
I remember
dip.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too far from the Buffalo News. It's on this, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool.
there's some really interesting places there. I felt really bad when they tore Dan Montgomery's down. Do you remember that?
No.
It was near the old auditorium. I don't want to hold you up.
That's okay.
But they had a lot. It was a people of color. It was like an Afro-American place. It used to be a speakeasy years ago, and some very famous entertainers had gone
Oh,
there.
that was on Michigan Street. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yes, Montgomery's.
Dan Montgomery's, right.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Montgomery used to run it.
Yeah. It's they tore it was a beautiful building.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That's not far from the Hofbrau, the location.
Yeah, these are some good places. And congratulations on your 400th show.
Thanks, Lynn. Well, your husband and all of you folks made this possible years ago, back in the 90s, right? Or 80s, excuse me.
80s, I think it was.
yeah.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah, 80s, yeah.
Yeah, they went through a lot. Chuck Kelsey, all of them.
Right.
Yeah, Pete Colby.
Yep.
A lot of people were very. A lot of people were very active in making it happen, and it's one of the few live volunteer shows, isn't it?
It's the only live show that we were aware of in Chautauqua County. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
that's-
very proud of it. But thank
Yeah,
you.
well, we're very fortunate to have you. Good luck on your things for your Rotary. I think I want a ticket.
Good.
And I'm looking forward to the entertainment at the Arts Center in Westfield.
All right. Well, we'll see you soon, Lynn, okay?
All right. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks for
a
calling
lot.
in. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. So you were involved with General Motors and cars and going to Europe and things like that. And then you're kind of like all over the place, aren't you?
Oh, I also own a farm.
You own a farm.
Yeah, we used to raise
Jeff,
horses.
let's pick up that picture of where Bob's holding a big animal.
Let's get me a chicken.
I think I sent one in. Let's see if they have it or not. Anyway, so what'd you do on your front? There you are.
That's right.
See how I did that, Peg? I was ready. I'm armed and ready with pictures. Who's that with you?
It's
not me.
That was Pollyanna.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we have another phone call. This is unheard of. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. This is Rick Kiefer from the Fluvanna Historical Society. How are you?
Hi, Rick. How's it going?
Hi. Hi, I'm well, and Bob, nice to meet you as well too.
Likewise.
I was calling in for well, three reasons. One is I used to work at DOT, and I work for the state, but I'm in a different agency now. But I used to work for the Department of Transportation. So if I don't know your son, I probably know people he knows that he works out here in Western New York.
He works out of Hamburg.
Out of Hamburg. Okay, the residency there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah. Well, I knew a lot of the folks. I worked in Albany at the time, but I knew the regional director out here, Al Taylor,
Great.
and all the others, the head of HR. So.
All right, there's one. What's two?
Yeah, the second one was I was going to thank you guys for, number one, giving a shout out to the Historical Society last week and posting the advertisement for the sleigh rides. It was a big success, and I specifically wanted to thank you guys for coming out, Randall in particular, coming out and getting pictures and footage. We had a great time.
Very good.
It was really good.
Okay. Well, we're here to serve, right? It's public access.
Yeah, absolutely. That was great. And the third one was I'm going to beat Linda Spalding as being your most frequent caller. So that was my third.
Well,
Linda, I love you. I used to work with Linda at Chautauqua Works Department of Labor.
Right. Okay, Rick. Well, thanks for calling in.
No problem. And Bob, fascinating talk. I'm going to hang up and listen some more.
All right. Nice talking to you.
All right. Wow, 2 phone calls. You're cooking, man. We've got about 3 minutes left. So, in retirement now, what are you doing? You working on the hopra, but you don't have horses anymore, right?
No. We
But you like to do something in the kitchen, right? You cook and things, right?
Oh, yeah,
Let's bring up that picture from the kitchen, Jeff. Something he baked. Okay. I know a lot of times you call me up and say, "Ooh, what are we having tonight for supper?" And then you send me a picture of something that you made in the oven. Let's see if you can bring that picture up. What do you like to do in the kitchen?
bake. Yeah,
What do you bake? Pizza! All right, we got another call. This is unheard of. Yes, caller number 3.
Doc, it's Mike Felsman from Portland.
Mike from Portland.
Portland. I won't take up a few seconds.
All right.
Congratulations on your 400th show.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I've enjoyed hearing your brother Bob tell his story. Mm-hmm. And well, just let you know, I'm after 400 shows, I'm still here too.
All right, and thank you, Mike. You've been from day one. So you take care, and we'll talk to you again. Thanks for calling.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay, so you bake, you have you're part of the hop route. What else you do in retirement?
I do a lot of teaching, and I do a lot of safety work for a company out of Orchard Park. Mm-hmm. I do some private engineering.
You enjoy teaching, don't you?
It's in my blood, like you. So anyway.
You know, you and I talk a lot about some of the reality shows about finding treasure in that. And Jeff, we got that one more picture. There you are. You and I were out in New England, remember? We were on the beaches looking for gold. And what did we find?
Nothing.
But you like to be adventuresome, don't you? Get out there with your metal detector and all that stuff. Sure. Bob, you got less than a minute, and I apologize. We could go on forever, but what else you want to tell people, or anything else about yourself? Or there we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
You're good.
You know, congratulations on you guys again.
Okay.
Your 400th show, and it was a pleasure coming out here.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming down and reminiscing with us. And, we got a picture of my mom and dad. Let's pop that up. I think if he can find it real quick. Both have passed since, but we were fortunate to have parents that were very supportive of our careers. And I know that mom and dad always were very proud of what you did, for the most part. And, that you went on to school and did really good things. So that's about it. That's a wrap, man.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, my special guest today has been my brother, Bob Hamels, and you've led a very interesting life. You're like one of those most interesting men in the world. So, happy 400th to everybody that's involved with the show here, and thanks for checking in with us. And we're going to do this all again, maybe for another 400 shows. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get to 500 first, eh? All right. So, warm weather coming our way. Let's enjoy what we can, and see you this time next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.